Yeah, hello everyone. Today we are discussing about the function and block diagram of DMA controller 8257. So already we have seen what is meant by DMA and what is the functions of DMA. So basically DMA is called as direct memory access. So why we are using the direct memory access here? It is used to transfer the data transfer between the IO devices and memory. So between the memory and IO devices, we can transfer the data so directly without intervention of the CPU. So without using that CPU, we are transferring the data between the IO and memory devices. So by that, by using this DMA data memory direct memory access, the advantage is the CPU intervention time will be reduces. That means faster rate of data transfer can be achievable. So here further to control that DMA action, direct memory action, so we are having one of the controller, it is called as DMA controller, direct memory access controller. The IC number for this controller is Intel 8257. It is discovered by the Intel Corporation. The number which is given for the DMA controller is Intel 8257. So what is the function of DMA controller, that is Intel 8257? So basically Intel 8257 is a 4-channel programmable direct memory access interface controller which allows up to 4 peripherals to access the memory without involving the CPU. So here Intel 8257 consists of 4 channels. So here by using this controller we can that means we can connect up to 4 peripherals to access the memory at a time without using the CPU. So it can be used with 8085 microprocessor and other CPUs also, and can affect the data transfer between any 4 peripherals and memory in DMA mode. So that means we are also using not for the 8086, we can also use for the 8085 and other processors also to transfer the data between any 4 peripherals and memory. That means IO devices with between the IO device and memory, so we can transfer the data. So by using this 8257 we can connect up to 4 peripherals, 4 IO devices that can be transferred between the memory and the peripherals by using this DMA controller. And 8257 takes the control of the system buses and generates a sequential address along the required control signal to allow the peripheral to either read data from memory or write the data into memory without involving the CPU when it receives a request from the peripheral for DMA transfer. So first, what is that? The CPU is that means the memory is just waiting for the state of DMA request. So but that is given by the peripheral. So basically first to transfer the data between the peripheral and memory, first the peripheral is requesting the memory, that is by using a request called as DMA request. So when it is ready, the memory is ready, that is given by the acknowledgement from the memory, then it is transferring, the peripheral is transferring the data from the peripheral to the memory. That means a sequential address is generating by using the control signals, that is to allow the peripheral to either read the data from memory or to write the data into memory. So here we are having the two cases. To read the data from the memory is also possible, and also to write the data. So that is input is what is that for the input peripheral, when you are using the input peripheral means we are writing the data into memory. So for the output peripheral, what is that, we are reading the data from that memory. By these two actions can be achieved by using the input output peripherals. Here in this case only what is that, here the difference between the other data transfers means here we are not involving the CPU. So the CPU involvement means 0. Without involving the CPU, we are directly accessing the memory by using this 8257. So for DMA data transfer, hold and HLDA signal of 8085 are used. So here we are having the two pins called as hold and hold acknowledgement. HLDA means hold acknowledgement. So when an active high input signal is given to hold pin of 8085 by peripheral devices, microprocessor relinquishes the system bus after completing the machine cycle. For example, the microprocessor is running any cycle, that means executing the instruction in a machine cycle. So after completion of that machine cycle, so what is that? When the hold pin, okay, when we are giving any request, that is hold request, so that is given by the 8085 by any peripheral device to that 8085. Then after completion of the execution of the current instruction, so the microprocessor is going to that peripheral. That means directly it is accessing the peripheral without using of the CPU here. So here when it is using, when an active high signal, high input signal is applied to the hold pin of the 8085. So as a result of all the buses go into tri-state and an active high output signal HLDA hold acknowledgement is sent back to other bus master who requested to issue the system bus, and microprocessor regains the control of the buses when hold goes back to low. So when the hold signal is going high, that means so the microprocessor is giving the bus access to the input and output devices. Then what is that? If it is how the input IO devices are getting the signal means it is getting by using this what is it, high on the signal called as HLDA. So hold acknowledgement. When the hold acknowledgement is high, then what is that? The microprocessor is what is that? The IO devices are knowing that they are ready. The buses, okay, the microprocessor is given the bus access. Then it is taking the access of the bus access, system bus access, and then it is transferring the data through the bus access with the to the micro, what is that, to the memory devices. So here basically we are using the two signals named as hold and hold acknowledgement. So IO peripheral is giving the request to the microprocessor by using the hold signal. So for that request, the microprocessor is giving back to the peripherals like a acknowledgement, hold acknowledgement. If it is high, that is present high on the HLDA signal, then we are knowing that the microprocessor is given that bus access to the IO devices. That means by using that IO bus access, the IO devices can directly transfer the data to the memory. So what are the features of 8257? So basically 8257 is a 4-channel direct memory access interface. Already we know that it is an interface. We can connect this between the microprocessor and the IO devices. So basically we can connect to 4 channels. That means 4 number of peripherals, IO devices, that can be directly connected with our 8257. So DMA can be operated in 3 modes. So it is called as, first one is DMA read, second one DMA write, and the third one is DMA verify. So maximum of 16,384 bytes of data can be transferred at a time. So by using the DMA, so 8257 DMA controller, we can transfer total 16,384 bytes at a time of data at a time between the IO and memory devices. Next, DMA operates in 2 priorities. They are called as fixed priority, and second one is the rotating priority. So when we see the block diagram of DMA controller, that is Intel 8257, so it consists of basically 6 parts. The first one is called as DMA channels, second one is data bus buffer, third one is read write logic, and fourth one is control logic, fifth one is mode set register, and sixth one is status word register. So by using these registers, we can set and reset different types of the pins, okay, channels also. So here this is the block diagram of the 8257 DMA controller. So if you see that left side we are having the three parts are there, three blocks are present, and the right side we are having the total 5 blocks are present. So when we see that left side, what is that we are having, the first block is data bus buffer. So it contains total 8 number of data bits D0 to D7. Next, the second block we are having read write control logic. So on that signals we are having I by O or bar, that means input output read signal. So it is active low signal. Next, IO W bar, that means input output write signal. It is also active low signal. So these are the bidirectional signals here, two arrows. Next, clock signal, reset signal, and here we are having 4 address signals to generate the address A0, A1, A2 and A3. So next one is we are having that chip select signal, that is CS bar. It is also active low signals. The next one we are having the third block, we are having control logic and mode set register. So here in this case we are having A4, A5, A6 and A7. These are the output signals, output address signals. Next we are having one more signal called as ready signal, that is input. The output signal what is we are having, so HRQ, it is called as hold request signal. So that is given to the 808 microprocessor. So for that one we are getting that input, that is HLDA, hold acknowledgement signal. So next we are having that memory read, MEMR bar, that is memory read signal. It is also active low signal. Next one MEMW bar, that is also called as memory write signal. It is the output signal. Next, AEN, already we know that address latch enable. So address enable bit we are having to enable that. Okay, so when we are having that combined multiplexer address and database, to separate that one we are using so AEN. Next, ADSTB, it is also address strobe signal we are having. Next, TC, that means terminal count. So how many bytes of data. So after completion of all bytes of data transfer, so we are giving one signal called as terminal count. Next, for that next one we are having mark signal is also present for the control and mode set register. So this is connected, the right side and left side blocks are connected with the internal bus. The right side when we see, we are having the 4 channels are present, CH0, CH1, CH2 and CH3. These are called as 4 channels. 4 channels of DMA data transfer. All the 4 channels are 16-bit channels here. 16 bits of data can be transferred at a time. So here we are having one address register is there and counter registers are present for each channel. So for each channel we are having 2 signals are present, DRQ and DACK bar. DRQ is called as, what is that, DMA request, and DACK is called as DMA acknowledgement. When we are giving the request, we are getting the acknowledgement here. For channel 0 we are having DRQ not, next DACK bar not. For channel 1 DRQ1, next DACK bar 1. For channel 2 DRQ2 and DACK bar 2. For channel 3 we are having DRQ3 and DACK bar 3. So for each channel we are having DMA request signal and one more DMA acknowledgement signal. So to continue, what is that, to resolve the channels, different types of, okay, 4 channels are present. So when we are getting the 4 channels at a time, request or when we are getting any request from the 4 channels at a time, so in that case what is that, we have to so resolve the priority. So for resolving which one is having the highest priority and which one is having the lowest priority, so we have to first resolve the priority between the channels. So for that one we are using one more block called as priority resolver. By using the priority resolver we can give the priorities to the channels. By that the first priority is, what is serviced first, the last priority channel is serviced last here. So when we see the DMA channels, so basically 8257 consists of 4 DMA channels. So we already seen that one, CH0 to CH3. So each channel has DMA request signal DRQ and one more DACK, that means DMA acknowledgement signal. So DMA acknowledgement is a low level signal, okay, low active low signal. So next, one IO device can be connected to one channel. So one for every channel we can connect one input or output device. That means 4 channels means 4 IO devices can be connected. So hence we can connect 4 different IO devices for DMA operation to 4 different channels. For the 4 different channels we are having, so for that 4 IO devices can be connected here. Next, each channel has a 16-bit address register. The starting memory location address for DMA operation is to be loaded onto this address register by the programmer. So that means, so already seen that in the diagram, each channel is having so one 16-bit address register and one 16-bit counter register is also present. So why we are using this address register means the starting memory location of the DMA operation, that is loaded onto this address register. So whereas the counter register, so each channel also has 16-bit counter register here. So here why we are using this counter register, the 14 LSBs in the counter register indicates the count of number of bytes to be transferred during the DMA operation. The first 14, already we know that counter register is containing 16 bits. So the LSB 14 bits are indicating that how many bytes, how many number of bytes are can be transferred during one DMA operation. So if the count is equal to n bytes, then we have to load n minus 1 into counter register. Okay, so less than 1, so we can what is the transfer that. If the count value is equals to n bytes means we can load up to n minus 1 into the counter register. The 2 MSBs of counter register is used to define the DMA operation. So we know that the last 14 LSBs are they are using for the count operation. At the what is the MSB bits we are having, 2 MSB bits we are having. So those 2 MSB bits are indicating the two types of operations. The first operation is called as DMA memory read operation, and the second one is called as DMA memory write operation. The port addresses of these registers are determined by 4 address lines. So already we seen that the 4 address lines are present. Those 4 address lines are indicating the port addresses of these registers. What is the registers? Address register and counter register. Second one we are having the data bus buffer. So already we know that it is a 8-bit bidirectional tri-stated data lines connected to the microprocessor data bus. Okay, data bus contains 8-bit bidirectional address data lines we are having, D0 to D7. When the 8257 is programmed by the CPU, 8-bit data from the DMA address register, terminal count register or the mode set register are received on the data bus. So when we are having that 8257, when we are programming the 8257 by the CPU, that means we are getting the 8-bit data. Okay, from the DMA address register we are getting the 8-bit data, and one more called as terminal count register, or else when we are using the mode set register, that is receiving, that is sending on the data bus here. So one more control block we are having, that is called as read write control logic here. So we are having that slave mode and master mode. So what is that function in the slave mode and master mode? In the slave mode, when the CPU is reading one of the 8257 registers, the read write logic block accepts the control signals. So already we know that control signals IOR and IOW, that means input output read and input output write, and the recodes the last significant 4 address line, that is A0 to A3, and either writes the contents of the data bus into the address register or places the contents of the address register on the data bus. So here, so to the control signals, to read and write control signals, we are using the 4 address lines A0 to A3 here. Next, whereas in the master mode, what it is performing, so during the DMA cycle, the read write logic contents, the read write logic controls all the internal read and write operations. So all the internal read and write operations can be performed in the master mode. So it controls the data link with a peripheral that has been granted by the DMA cycle. So when we see the 4th block, that is already we have seen in the block diagram, that is control logic. So it contains control logic, mode set register and a status register. So control logic controls the sequence of DMA operations during all DMA cycles in the master mode. So in the name itself we are having, it is controlling the sequence of DMA operations in all the DMA cycles. So it generates address and control signals. Control logic is generating all the address and control signals. It is incrementing 16-bit address and decrementing 14-bit counter registers. So 16-bit address register and 14-bit counter register we are using by using the control logic. So it activates a HRQ signal or channel DMA request. So already we know that hold request signal that is activating by the control logic, or else channel DMA request we are also having DRQ is present, that channel DMA request also activating by this control logic. It is enabled in the slave mode. The priority resolver is used to store the priority of different channels. Already we have discussed that. So when from the 4 channels, when we are getting the DMA request from the 4 channels at a time, first we have to give the priority from the between the 4 channels. So which channel has the highest priority and which one is the having the lowest priority. By using those priorities, so we have to take the request and give the acknowledgement for different channels. Next we are having that mode set register. So what is the function of the mode set register? The function of the mode set register is to enable the DMA channels individually and also to set the various modes of operation. So for the 4 channels, the modes of operation for the 4 channels is set by this mode set register. The bits B0 to B3 enable one of the 4 channels of 8257. The extended write bit extends the duration of MEMW and IOW signals. So here the first 4 bits B0 to B3 of the mode set register is enables one of the 4 channels of the 8257. That means if it is 1, that means based on that bit, that we what is that the corresponding channel is enabled. So here also we are having one of the extended bit, write bit is so extending the functions of memory write and IO write signals. Next the bit B4 provides rotating and normal priority. So next one we are having TC, terminal count, that stops the bits is set. The selected channel is disabled so that it can be prevented for further DMA cycle on the channel. When the terminal count is set to 1 means that channel is terminated. That means from that channel we cannot transfer the data for the next DMA cycle. So here we are having that the mode set register. So we are having B0 to B7. So total 8 bits. Okay. So mode set register is a 8-bit register. So here B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6 and B7. So already we have seen that B0 to B3 is using for the enabling the channels of channel 0 to channel 3. Okay, if it is 1 means enabling the channel, and if it is 0 means disabling that corresponding channel. Next B4 is indicating the rotating priority, RP, rotating priority. 1 means rotating priority, 0 means fixed priority we are having. Next B5 is EW, extended write operation. Okay, if it is 1 means extended write selection, 0 means normal write selection. The B6 bit indicates terminal count. Okay, so if it is 1 means what is that? Stops the DMA terminal count. We are stopping that channel for the further DMA cycle. Next B7, so that is we are having the reloading. Okay, auto loading AL. So 1 means auto reload, 0 means disabling. Okay, 1 means enabling and 0 means disabling. So if auto load is enables the same channel for the repeat blockchain operations without software intervention between 2 successive blocks. Auto load means here the same channel can be so used
one more time also we can use without using the software instructions here. So what is the next one? Status register. So the lower order 4 bits are used to indicate the terminal count condition for the 4 individual channels. So see here also we are having the status, what is the status register? We are having the total 8 bits are present, B0 to B7. So the first 4 bits B1, B0, B1, B2 and B3, they are using for the terminal count. So the for which what is that 4 channels. TC0 means for the channel 0, TC1 for channel 1, TC2 for channel 2 and TC3 for the channel 3. So if they are 1 means they have reached the terminal count value. That means they what is the transferred all the bytes from that input output device, peripheral device. So these bits remain set till either the status is read by CPU or reset by 8257. So always they are equals to 1 only. So unless otherwise, what is that, they should be read by the CPU or reset by 8257 controller. The update flag can only be cleared by resetting 8257 or by resetting the auto load bit of the mode set register. If we are clearing that auto mode, what is that, resetting that auto load bit of the mode set register, then only they will be cleared. The update flag can be cleared. If update flag register is set, the contents of channel 3 registers are reloaded to the corresponding registers of channel 2 here. So we are having that B4, that is update. Okay, so channel 1, that means if it is equals to 1, channel 2 is reloaded from the channel 3. So that is indicating that B4 bit. So remaining B5, B6 and B7 bits are always reset to 0 here. So this is about the status and mode set register. So all it is about the DMA controller Intel 8257. Okay, thank you.